Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract others? Like they have some kind of magnetic pull that you just can't explain? Here's the truth: attraction isn't random. And it's not all about looks. Science has uncovered fascinating psychological principles that influence who we're drawn to and why. Today, I'm breaking down the hidden psychology of attraction that nobody talks about. These aren't manipulation tactics, they're research-backed insights into human connection that can help you become more authentically attractive. Whether you're looking to improve your dating life or simply understand the science behind human attraction, these principles will transform how you approach relationships. Let's dive in. But before we continue, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our weekly insights on psychology and relationships. The first secret to attraction isn't about what you say, it's about how you show up. In today's world, we're constantly distracted. Our attention is fragmented between screens, notifications, and endless to-do lists. But here's what research has consistently shown: genuine presence is magnetic. Dr. Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina studies something called positivity resonance, those micro-moments of connection that happen when two people are fully present with each other. Her research shows these brief connections actually trigger biochemical synchrony between people. When you're truly present with someone, making eye contact, actively listening, putting your phone away, your brain waves can sync up with theirs. You release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and create a biological connection. Let me share a story from one of my viewers, Alex. He had been trying to meet someone special for months with no success. Despite being attractive, financially stable, and having interesting hobbies, his dates weren't leading anywhere. When we talked about his approach, I discovered he was constantly checking his phone during dates. He was physically present but mentally elsewhere. I challenged him to put his phone away completely for his next 3 dates. The results? On his second phone-free date, he met someone he connected with deeply. 6 months later, they're still together. Alex told me, "I never realized how much my divided attention was affecting my connections." So here's your first psychological key: practice radical presence. Put away distractions. Make eye contact. Listen completely. This creates a rare and valuable experience in today's world, feeling truly seen and heard. It's irresistibly attractive. The second hidden psychological principle is called the reciprocity effect. In the 1960s, psychologist Robert Cialdini identified reciprocity as one of the most powerful principles of influence. It's simple but profound. Humans have a deep-wired tendency to want to return favors. When someone does something nice for us, we feel an almost automatic urge to reciprocate. This creates a powerful foundation for attraction. But here's where people get it wrong. They think this means grand gestures or expensive gifts. The science shows it's actually small, thoughtful actions that create the strongest reciprocity effect. Neuroscientist Dr. Paul Zak found that small, unexpected kindnesses, like bringing someone their favorite coffee or remembering a detail from a previous conversation, trigger oxytocin release more effectively than planned, larger gestures. Here's how to apply this. Pay attention to the details she shares. Does she mention loving a specific author? Send her an article about the author's new book. Did she talk about a stressful project at work? Text to ask how it went. These small moments of thoughtfulness demonstrate two powerful attraction qualities: that you listen and that you care. They create a natural desire to reciprocate that attention and care. But remember, authenticity is essential. People have remarkably accurate radar for detecting when kindness comes with strings attached. The reciprocity effect works when your actions come from genuine interest, not as a calculated tactic. Our third psychological insight combines two powerful concepts: the scarcity principle and what I call the validation gap. Psychologists have long known that humans value what's rare. When something is perceived as scarce or hard to obtain, it becomes more desirable. This applies to material things, experiences, and yes, attention and validation. Here's where most people misinterpret this. They think creating attraction means playing games or being unavailable. That's not what the research supports. What actually creates healthy attraction is having a full, engaging life of your own. When you have passions, friendships, and purposes beyond romance, you naturally create what psychologists call optimal distinctiveness, the perfect balance between availability and independence. Studies on romantic attraction consistently show we're drawn to people who show interest but maintain their autonomy. This creates what I call the validation gap, the space between complete validation and challenge that creates healthy tension. Dr. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist who studies romantic love, explains that when someone is completely available and validating 100% of the time, there's no room for the uncertainty that drives dopamine, one of our brain's key reward chemicals. In practice, this means balancing genuine interest with healthy boundaries. Be responsive, but don't drop everything in your life when someone new appears. Maintain your existing relationships and interests. This isn't playing games. It's living authentically while creating space for romance to develop naturally. Remember, true attraction isn't about manufacturing scarcity. It's about being a complete person with a life that's already fulfilling. That authentic fullness is magnetic. Our fourth psychological insight might surprise you. Strategic vulnerability creates deeper attraction than perfection. Psychologists discovered something called the pratfall effect in the 1960s. They found that people who were perceived as highly competent became more likable and attractive after making a small mistake. This contradicts what many of us believe, that showing perfection is the key to attraction. The research shows the opposite is true. Here's why this works. Perfect people can feel intimidating and unrelatable. Small vulnerabilities make highly competent people more human and approachable. The key word here is small. We're not talking about major character flaws or deeply inappropriate oversharing. We're talking about the courage to show you're human. Think of vulnerability on a spectrum. At one end is the defensive person who never admits weakness or uncertainty. At the other extreme is the person who overshares inappropriately early on. The sweet spot is in the middle, authentic openness at appropriate moments. Psychologist Arthur Aaron developed a protocol called the 36 questions that lead to love that's built on this principle. The questions gradually increase in personal disclosure, creating mutual vulnerability that accelerates connection. Research shows that this graduated self-disclosure activates the brain's reward centers. When we share appropriately and have that sharing received with acceptance, we experience pleasure similar to other rewards like food or money. This doesn't mean dumping your life story on a first date. It means being willing to share something real when the moment is right. Maybe it's admitting you were nervous about the date, sharing a meaningful personal goal, or talking about something you're working to improve about yourself. These moments of authentic vulnerability create the foundation for real connection, which is infinitely more attractive than a perfect facade. So there you have it. 4 hidden psychological principles that create genuine attraction. 1. The power of presence and undivided attention. 2. Thoughtful reciprocity that shows you listen and care. 3. The natural attraction of a full life and the validation gap. 4. The connection-building power of appropriate vulnerability. Notice that none of these principles involve manipulating or tricking someone into attraction. They're about showing up as your best, most authentic self and creating real human connections. The most attractive quality will always be genuineness. These psychological insights just help you remove the barriers that might be blocking your natural ability to connect. If you found these insights helpful, I'd love to hear which one resonated with you most. Drop a comment below sharing which principle you're going to apply this week. And if you want to dive deeper into relationship psychology, check out my free guide, The Psychology of Authentic Connection, link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss next week's video on the psychology of building trust in relationships. Until then, remember, real attraction isn't about tricks or games. It's about creating a genuine human connection. See you next time.